Hello everyone. Let's create our part that we just measured out. I brought a little bracket up here. Actually took an image, an image of our sketch we did with our dimensions. So this is what we're going to try to construct here in SolidWorks. So let's start a new part. Say okay. Let's see here. A little slow today. All right, let's do our first sketch. I'm going to work on, let's see if I open that up. I'm going to construct it. Always look at a plan of attack here. My plan is I'm going to draw basically this view. I'm not going to put any of the fillets in yet. So, because I do have lower, upper, this dimension, I can just connect two lines, extrude the depth, which is the 27, and then cut out this feature, drill the hole, rotate the top, get our two slots in, and then we're pretty much done. So let's start on the front. Make a sketch on the front plane. I'm going to create the bottom left corner as the oh wait, actually before it's actually oops. Well, I'm looking at my down here. I'm already in my units as millimeters because I've always kept that as my default. So first thing you want to do is always do your units since we're doing ours in. Get close. Now let's just dimension it out. We know where our dimension is, so we took from the bottom, 134. We know the height in the back, 17.5. We know the height in the front, 38. And this little itty bitty piece right here. Zoom in. Why don't you work? There we go. 8. And this component right here, 90. I can see we're fully constrained. Everything's black. Let's go to our features, extrude. You can extrude either direction, doesn't matter. But our width, we measured 27. Well, got the basic features here. I'm going to work now. Let's rotate. I'm going to do that slot in the bottom and the hole in the front. So go back to sketch. Select this. And let's rotate straight on. And technically, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a rectangle since we're going to cut through it. And I'll dimension the rectangle since I'm looking straight on. This will be the left side, the skinny side, which I measured 1.6. The other side, we measured 5.5. And the actual depth was 5. Now I'm just going to do this slot feature first before I do the actual hole. Now, oops. I don't want to do extrude boss. I want to do extrude cut. And technically I'm going to go all the way through, so let's go just through all. There we go, through all. Now I'm going to do a sketch for the actual threaded hole. Let me just pick the sketch from this one. I'm going to do it in 2 steps. One, since we measured and we knew it was right down the center. I'm just going to do a construction line. I like doing construction lines. Constrain to the center of the top, and I'm going to make it 10.5, which is where the hole should be. Now if I got an M5, it's 5 millimeter diameter. Now I just want to do an extrusion, cut, blind, oops, 14.5. That's why I measured 14.5 down. Perfect. Now if I want to make it look like a thread hole, go to the hole wizard. You got threads here. Thread location, I'm going to pick the cylindrical hole. Blind, 14 millimeters down, share 14.5, 14. I actually did some calculations real quick, which I don't have in front of me, but I took that screw I had and screwed it as far as I can into the part. It went 11.1 inches down, measured the length of the screw, and then took the difference. I can get 13.8 inches, I keep on saying inches, millimeters into the part. Oops. So I'm just going to round it up to 14 for the threads. Metric tap, M5, cut thread, bingo. Now we have a thread that looks like a thread. Alright, let's take care of our slots now. Let's put the slots in. Start a new sketch on the top here. There's multiple ways of doing this. Let's use the actual straight slot. There are 2 versions. Take the first version. There are parameters. We know according to our drawing, our sketch, 11 wide, 14 long. Now the tricky part is dimensioning it. Parameters X and Y. It likes to go from the central portion of the, the arc portion. We measured from the edge though, 9.5. So if our diameter is 11, half 11 is 5.5, 9.5 plus 5.5 is 15. Now we had 14 all wide, but that is from the inside to the inside. So we got to take out the 11 circle. So 14 minus 11 should be 3. There's that slot. But now we got to also dimension it to the edge. We measured from the edge being 6, but now we have to go to the center. So it is half of 11 is 5.5, so 6 plus 5.5 is 11.5. Now, let's just make a copy of this. Let's go to, we do a linear pattern, or copy on these. Spot 1 from, let's just pick an arbitrary spot, go over. Let's see if I can dimension this out. Alright, before I dimension that out, let's actually smart dimension it to make it fully closed, fully constrained. Oops. Can I go from the outside to the outside? Nope, it's going to make them go from inside to inside. So we measure from the inside of the one slot to the inside of the other slot. 46. If we're going to go to the center, 46 plus 11. So let me just do the math here. 46 plus 11. That puts our two slots where they're supposed to be. Let's cut through now. Go to features. We'll do an extrude cut. I'm going to go down though a depth of 6, which is 6 already. So there is our first slot. Our second slot should be just as easy. With a sketch. Sketching actually on that plane. Oops. Let me get rid of some of this view here. Out the ambient inclusion, all that fancy stuff. So back to my sketch. Can I do offset entities or convert entity? Offset entities. I want it the other way though. Reverse. And let's see the difference between the inside is a 8.5 by 5.5. The outside is a 11 by 14. Or I should say 14 by 11. It is exactly, let's see, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, 12.5, 14.5. So it's 5.5 from the edge. So 5.5, half of 5.5. Here, let's just do the math. Reverse. 5.5 divided by 2. And let's continue to add in the rest. There's one. And offset entities. Reverse direction. Oops. Gotta be careful what you select. Now our last extrusion will be through all. Slots done. Now the very last thing we have to do is rounding all the edges. You have to remember from our drawing, this is not round here, but the edges are. So along these edges, and basically the entire back, the verticals and the horizontals. So here, vertical, horizontal, along this entire edge up to there, and across here, and then across here. And they're all going to be at 2. So fill it. Select all of our edges. Parameters of 2. Let's analyze our part one more time. Get all the fields correct. And looks like we have our completed part.